Welcome to Event Radio, covering local drag racing, stock car racing, motorcycles, go-karts. If it's got wheels and you can race it, you'll hear about it here. Event Radio is motorsports radio on steroids. Now, let's join your hosts, Spivvy Williams and Terrible T Guy.
All right, guys, welcome to the next edition of Event Radio. I tell you what, guys, we are at honest to goodness, probably one of the prettiest little towns that I've been to in a long time. We are at Livermore, Kentucky. Now, to give you a little idea where Livermore is, it is sort of westerly direction between Hartford and Owensboro, Kentucky. But many of you have heard the song "Take Me Back to Muhlenberg County," where
ask John Prine.
Ask John Prine, where they talk about the Green River. Well, that's why we're here. We're at the Green River, which runs right alongside downtown Livermore. The only trick is, it's not just fishing today; it is horsepower today. We are at
Wet and wild.
We are at the drag boat races, and we're going to get to introduce you to some really colorful guys. I've already labeled them as some of the craziest people on the planet.
I wouldn't get out of the electric chair to get in them things.
Oh, I'm telling you what.
Anything.
It's so cool. What we've seen so far, you're talking about these little flat bottom, sort of like a baby unlimited hydroplane, but they've got blown big block Chevrolet motors. They got blown Chrysler motors. They're on probably nitromethane, just like a top fuel dragster. And, man, are they cool or what, T? Look at, we're passing by one right now, and we don't know the eliminator classes. We don't know any of that stuff as of yet, but we're going to find out about all that stuff. And these guys are going to educate us and tell us where it's going to go on, what we need to look for, what we don't need to look for, and man, we're excited.
Well,
I think this is cool.
This is one of our venues outside. We cover everything with wheels. I ought to say we cover everything with engines.
Well, it's got a steering wheel, so I guess we're
we're still close.
Yeah, it's got a steering wheel and it's got two great big props. Will that work as a wheel?
That ought to. Or what I've noticed here, they got a lot of nice vendors, Lucas Oil and such as that.
Yeah,
but I haven't seen a tire distributor yet. Who's your Goodyear? They're just not here.
And another thing that was sort of funny, the weather looked like that it might rain a little bit. And we were talking about on the way up here. We said, well, one thing for sure, a little rain is not going to hurt the traction for these guys in the boat drags, because a little water sure won't hurt them, because that's what they're going to be right in the middle of. I tell you what,
this little town of Livermore is super nice.
Buddy, can you imagine how neat it?
It kind of reminds me of Mayberry.
Yeah, Mayberry with an attitude.
Yeah.
Mayberry with a lot of horsepower. And we get to meet a lot of really, really nice people. Our buddy that has joined us once before on this radio show, the mayor of Livermore, no less, Mr. J.D. Renfro is going to be here. We're going to get to talk to him. And how much nicer guy in the world is there than him,
I don't know, but you ought to be quiet. You're driving through church service right now.
I'm sorry. We'll be really quiet right there. But how neat is that, too?
I tell you what, they do it at every racetrack anymore, whether it be cars, boats, motorcycles.
Exactly.
And he had a good crowd. I mean, that's a good thing. That's
a
real good thing.
Well, guys, your horsepower events is what has that. You don't have that at a lot of other venues. I don't think I've been to many ball games and stuff like that where they took their morning and had a chapel service, and I think this is so cool that they do. We're sitting here looking at the Green River, and you would think the Green River would be really, really little, but where we're at,
I'd hate to try to swim across it.
Hey, it's pretty doggone
I'd hate
wide.
to try to paddle across it.
And the city, well, the city opens up for this event, and they really promote it. They promote it all year in order to have the event here, and I'm sure it's a good economic boost to Livermore. But this place is, they had it at Kentucky Lake, I think, or they may have some at Kentucky Lake prior to this. But this is really cool. It's plenty wide, guys, for them to get out and strut their stuff and do their thing. And
there's no bleachers. People are pulling in boats to get good places to sit.
Yeah,
the people are sitting here on the side of the bank in their lawn chairs and pop-up tents. It's cooking out. I believe we are right at looks like the start line, Spirit.
Okay, I don't know. We're gonna get educated.
But learn, big time.
Yeah,
but
we'll learn a lot about this.
Want something to see like that. I mean, I'm really looking forward to it.
Oh,
really.
I'm excited, and we're excited to be able to introduce you to some of the participants. This is the only race venue we've been to where you can park on a pontoon and sort of get right in the middle of the action.
What I was referring to earlier.
I think that's pretty cool. And there's something to do. They have like a flat bottom pontoon that it has a thing that I believe the starting rope hooks to or something. I don't know. We're going to figure it out, and we're going to talk to the guys that are I guess the head of the association, the Drag Boat Association, as well as a lot of the racers.
Well, they'll probably educate us both a whole lot.
Hey, they ain't got to go far to educate me. But I can already see from what the motors sticking up in the back of them boats.
They're some bad boys.
I'm going to like it. Well, we're going to get out of here, say a word or two from our sponsor, and we're going to get busy and talk to the people that are going to make all the action here at this event in Livermore, Kentucky. Guys, if you are not here, you are for sure missing something.
It's going to be wet and wild.
While. Yeah, you need to add this one to your calendar because this one is going to be a show-nuff show. Guys, thank you so much for being on Event Radio. We're going to get busy and bring a lot of fun to you. Hang in there. Don't go anywhere. All right, guys, we are back from the boat drags, and we have our favorite politician in the world joining us. Not just in Kentucky, but now he is the man. If there was some way to put him on the ballot for president, you'd see Event Radio campaigning hot and heavy. The mayor of Livermore, Kentucky, Mr. J.D. Renfro, and I've been already warned to call him Sonny, not J.D., because they wouldn't know who he was. Mayor, how in the world are you?
I'm just right. How are you, Speefy? And welcome to Livermore. We are delighted to have you here.
We talked. We actually, the guys at Event Radio, we get lost, and we went through the whole city just about, and we were talking in our opening statement how nice a place this is. Man, it is just. This is. Terry called it Mayberry with an attitude.
There you go.
No,
Terry, I'm going to quote you on that. I like that.
Mayberry with an attitude. Because you do
attitude.
such cool things, and we stopped a couple of places. And honest to goodness, the little girl at the IGA, I thought she was going to get in the truck with us and drive us over here.
She just might have done that, too. They're pretty good.
Hey, when you're that friendly to the people that come to your city to visit, how can it not be a success?
Well, it makes a big difference, and I think that's one of the things we really pride ourselves on. We find ourselves to be an open community, and that means open arms and open hearts, and we're delighted to have you here and to bring your bride and Terry with you, too, and a little bit of moisture on the ground this morning.
That's all right. We can spin around and feel like we're doing something.
We was talking about rainouts on the way over. Spirit said, how in the world do you rain out a boat race?
Yeah, there you go. Well, I like burnouts, too, but not so much. But it's going to be a hot day before it's over, and we've got a lot of boats racing with us this year, and the river is wet. It's a good thing, and the boats will be firing up soon. We're looking for a great day and a good event.
Yeah, I hear you test the track out yesterday a little bit.
We did get a chance. We had an opportunity to do a little test and tune run, and
up to yesterday, you had only taken a ride.
That's right.
And what did they leave one parked with the key in it, or what happened?
Yeah, something like that. No, Ron Schultz, great guy, has one of those fun little businesses, and he came and he said, "You know what? I got a boat that's got 2 seats. Would you like to go down the river?" And I said, "Heck yeah!" So he asked me, he said, "When was the last time you drove one of these things?" And I said, "When I lived in California, and that was like 40 years ago plus." And he said, "Well, why don't you get in the left seat instead of the right?"
Oh wow!
So we got got suited up, got a helmet and all the gear together, and got on there. And my goodness gracious, what a fun thing to do!
So you actually moved to Kentucky from California, is that correct?
Well, that was a lot of years ago when I lived in California. We moved to Kentucky from Chicago, Chicago. Came down after
roundabout way to get here.
Yeah. Just try to touch all the bases. I find myself to be an equal opportunity annoyer.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, I don't know how you could annoy anybody in Chicago. No offense, we do have a lot of listeners there, but guys, you really don't have the ideal place to visit. That's this has got to be a pretty good little economic impact for Livermore, doesn't it?
It's a great event for us, and we so appreciate all these folks who keep coming back year after year. And when you leave your home and come out to a place to go racing, it seems like you always find something you need.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing about it, the people are so accommodating, you'll wind up buying more than you need.
Yeah, well, that's good. And the good thing about it, you see all these haulers sitting around us, and they almost all take fuel.
And they all got to eat.
And they all got to eat something, and so we have a few little shops around that make a big difference, and these folks really do bring great things to the town, and that's what we're so grateful for.
Well, I tell you what, I mean. Nobody enjoyed having you or getting to meet you any more than we did last year at the little toy deal for kids. And when you invited us here, I thought, okay, boat race, we'll try it because we do all car stuff normally.
Yeah.
Man, we are so excited. The more we learned about it, the more excited we got. And we've been looking forward to this for 4 or 5 months.
It was the longest trip from Bowling Green to Livermore.
Yeah.
We couldn't wait to get it.
Yeah, for us especially.
I know you got a lot of great things going up in Bowling Green. I know the Corvette Museum has a big to-do coming up soon, and that's always exciting.
We get to do both of them. We get to do the grand opening of the new motorsports park.
Great.
And we'll have to show you. We have been officially endorsed by the Bowling Green Visitors Bureau as the voice of all motoring activities in Bowling Green.
Voice of all motoring activities.
Yes,
Boy,
sir.
This title's getting longer and longer.
Yeah,
Stevie.
we can't spell it, but we got it.
That's good.
But we're in all of their visitor guides as far
great.
as a recommendation to everybody that. And I told T, I said, well, I guess we're doing pretty good. When they put it in there, we didn't know it, and we're on the same page as the Corvette plant, the Corvette Museum, and Beach Bend Park.
Wow.
I mean, that's where the mass of people wind up in Bowling Green at the events, and we were honored really to get that.
Congratulations! That's no small accomplishment.
Well, Blind Hog finds an acre once in a while.
There you go.
I guess when you're an old broke down motorcycle racer and an old fat and an old fat guy. They feel sorry for you, Sonny. I guess that's what it is.
See, now, Speedy, I just think of you as being full grown.
Yeah, well, yeah. My wife, though, she I tell you what we did. We went to we spent a week in Pigeon Forge just to get away for us.
Great spot.
And we went to a magic show, and I asked Susie. I said, "What do you think about this guy?" She said, "He'll really impress me if he can knock about 25 pounds off me."
So hopefully, hey, look here! Terry just handed me the visitor's guide. There you are.
There we are.
Check out the there it is for local motorsports event coverage, both live and archived. My goodness, congratulations! That's really unique.
Thank you so much.
Really unique. Well, we'll see if we can't get you on ours too. We do have a little website.
Great. We would love to be in it. And we weren't kidding. I mean, everybody, when we came into town, of course, see, when you get old, you got to go to the bathroom a lot.
Yeah, no doubt.
That happens to you. And we stopped about 3 different places, and I can't remember when people were any nicer than they were.
That's good.
It was just really nice. And, I mean, they didn't know us from Adam, and that's cool. I mean, it was really great. Anybody that the mayor's going to take us to first to interview, anybody we should talk to, or everybody, huh?
Well, I think everybody would be a great way.
Who did you ride with?
A gentleman by the name of Ron Schultz.
Ron Schultz, okay.
Yep. He's around today, and so as quickly as we can capture Ron, I'm sure he'll have a
we'll
comment
go to
or two
him.
for you.
We'll go to him. If you know where we need to go, we can ride and drive. We can multitask.
It's a funny thing about being mobile, isn't it?
Yeah,
mobile.
And we've been really fortunate. We've got a lot of compliments on this because up until we started Event Radio, which was almost 60 shows ago.
Wow.
We had to. Terry and I both did a motorsports show for a local radio station.
Right.
And we had to bring them in, carry them up the steps into the studio. And this idea, what we came up with to be able to have the golf cart wired, pull right up next to them, not disturb them, set them down, and be able to do it has been a tremendous hit.
That's great.
And it works good, and our audience is growing unbelievably high.
That's wonderful.
I told Terry our favorite saying now is, if we do something you like, please tell a friend. If you don't, keep it to yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Right. That's the name of the game. Keep it rolling.
All right. Anything tell us a little more about Livermore.
Well, we're sited right at the confluence of the Rough and the Green Rivers, and we have one of those claim to fames. We have the only bridge in existence that covers 2 rivers and 2 counties, and ends up in the same county in which it begins. It's actually in the Guinness Book of World Records.
How good
in
is
Ripley's,
that?
Believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah,
Now Susie knew there was something that Livermore was actually worldwide famous for, and because she was Googling that on the phone coming up here, she said, "I know I've seen it somewhere. I know I have."
Yeah.
And so that's it, huh?
Yeah, that's one of the biggies. Of course, we think we've got a great spot right here. Anytime you can be this close to water, it gives you a great opportunity for lots of fun things. So there's good fishing, and lots of folks get out and enjoy the recreational potential that it brings. And we're a community just under 2,000 folks, and we're always delighted to have folks from out of town come visit.
Well, buddy, I tell you what, we were sitting here watching this guy in this jet ski. He's going pretty doggone fast down through there.
Yeah.
I mean, he's rolling right along.
That's one of our dive team. In case we should have an incident and have to go get a body part or a part of a boat, we certainly want to have the capabilities of doing that. So we have 4 skis that run up and down the course that give us an opportunity to make sure we don't have any obstructions. A little different than on a drag track.
Well, and that's why we're going to have to get educated here, because everything is totally different. You've got a pontoon with a rescue team with all the paramedics and all that.
Right.
I mean, it's just so cool. It's so well organized, so well put together. Makes us feel like a heel for not being here before.
Well, the KDBA, the Kentucky Drag Boat Association, this is the 20th anniversary of them coming to Livermore to put on the show. So it's a milestone for us. We're always excited to welcome them back each year, and the event. Although we've had a little moisture this year, and that kind of dampens the ground, but it's a boat race. It's supposed to be wet.
Okay, now we're going to make sure and give you a packet that we give all the racers. Do we get our decal put in City Hall or something?
Oh, heck yes! I'm sure we can find a place to get that. We'll get it. We'll get it up in a place of prominence.
Boy, I
that?
tell you what, and we actually brought you something cool. We brought you your very own Event Radio shirt. So
wow, thank you. They're handsome, I might add.
Susie probably
nice.
made them. We didn't have much to do with it, but it's got the old fat guy and the old broke down motorcycle racer on the back on the golf cart, and actually our golf cart's more famous than we are.
Oh my goodness! Well, you know what they say in this part of the world: everybody's got to be something, and you are really something.
Okay.
Hey guys, we're sitting here talking right now, but looking at this racetrack, we're talking about this being on the river. What people don't understand is this is like a city park. Concrete walkways with gravel edges. I mean, you're not walking down a mud bank to get to the river. This is sweet.
Yeah, I mean, this is sort of like a viewing stand to be able to put your chairs
with shade
and it
trees.
runs. Yeah, with shade, and it runs all the way down. And another thing that we commented on earlier in our opening, and we were so impressed. This is just like a lot of the motorsports events. You had a church service this morning before everything started.
Yeah,
Chapel service. We do that every Sunday when we're racing.
And that's cool, buddy. That
Vince,
shows the class.
Vince is our chaplain, and he's been with the KDBA Motorsports Operations Group for a lot of years. He and his wife travel around at all of the events that are put on, and on Sunday we got to remember, what we're here for and why we're here.
That's right.
And we always want to say thanks to the person that really made all this possible, and that's that man upstairs.
That's a fact. All
right, well, we need to look around here and see if I can't find Ron.
Okay, we want to ask him how good a co-pilot you were, and then how good a pilot you were. We've already dubbed you as the number one politician in the world, not just in Kentucky.
Sonny,
so
I said I'd move here just to vote for you.
Yeah, there you go. If we could, we would.
You guys are way too kind.
Yeah, but we know you're a great politician. We know you're a great mayor. And we're going to talk to this gentleman and find out how good a boat racer you are.
Well, I think, we got up there and got lined up and ready to go. And we were kind of going through the last-minute checkouts to make sure everything was ready to go and which button to push and which one not to push.
He didn't say, y'all watch this, did he?
Yeah, no, thank goodness he didn't do that. But the big thing was, I think when we got done, I think he might have been more frightened because you know what it's like when you're used to driving in the left seat and now you're a passenger in the right seat?
Oh, yeah. My wife's got a Lexus, and I ride with her, and it's whether it's a 1 or 2 Valium trip.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Hey, well, I'm starting to hear some blowers kicking in.
Hey, buddy, we got to play once we hear horsepower. Our good buddy, Mr. J.D. Renfro, and if you're at the boat racing, you don't call him Sonny, he's going to be mad at you. But thank you so much for being on Event Radio. Thank you for a lot of things. Thanks for just being a cool guy. Thank you for inviting us to this event. We have looked forward to it longer than you know, and we're here, and we're going to have more fun. If there's such a thing as Livermore having the fun police, they're going to arrest us.
Hey, we'll keep an eye out and see what we can do. We might be able to find a get-out-of-jail-free card for just one time.
There you go, one time.
Right. Okay.
Guys, the one and only, our buddy and the mayor of Livermore, and a reason that would just make you want to come here, Mr. J.D. Renfro. Thank you for being on Event Radio. We're going to get out of here and find no telling who, but we will be right back.
Thanks, Stevie.
All right, guys, we have found the gentleman that either has more nerve or less nerve than anybody I know, because he let our buddy Sonny, the mayor, be in the boat with him. Yeah, it's on. Okay, it's on. You'll be cool. But Mr. Ron Schultz, is that right?
That's right.
Can the mayor drive a boat?
Yes, he can drive a boat. I'm surprised. He's 2 years older than I am, and he showed me how to do it yesterday. He cut a better light than I did all weekend. It was like, wow.
Well, he was really excited. We talked to him on this little radio show, and he said, man, you got to go talk to Ron, so he's going to tell you how good I am. And I said, okay, I will. Are you the one that took him for the first ride?
No, he's had numerous rides here over the years, and he went over 100 miles an hour last year with Brown Hawley, another racer here, and it's been a fun deal, and he enjoys it, and we're so glad that he puts on this show every year for everyone, and we all enjoy coming down here. Unfortunately, it rained out a little bit here, but we'll be fine.
Well, yeah, I was going to ask, how you don't lose traction in the rain in a boat race,
No.
But it makes it a little difficult. And where is is there a ramp where you put them in the water and that kind of stuff? We haven't seen that yet, so we're looking.
Yes, that near the starting line, there's an in-ramp, and everyone launches there, and we kind of line up on a holding rope, and then our clock system works, and we proceed and make our run, and after the quarter mile, we go to the out-ramp, which is generally just past the finish line, and everybody's pulled out, and the show continues. And on Sunday here, it's a rounds of elimination and process of elimination, and it goes all afternoon.
So how long have you been racing boats, sir?
42 years.
42 years.
Yes,
wow.
Same motor for 44 years.
You're kidding.
Yes,
really?
Same motor, Oldsmobile.
No kidding.
Yes, sir.
Wow. That's amazing. I don't know any kind of a race vehicle that lasted that long.
Well, it's an old girl, and she's been good to me, and won quite a few races and a few championships, too, over the years.
Well, buddy, I tell you what, gorgeous boat. I love the colors. I love the paintwork. It's sharp. There's no doubt about it. We're gonna actually take some pictures. This little show has an archive page after it airs, and so you'll be able to flip on our deal and see it in the background of your interview. But man, this is cool. This is fun.
This is as much fun as you can have. Being a guy and been doing it for 40 years, and there's new racers that are coming into it, and they have a slower boat, and they're starting out in that, and over the years they get a faster boat.
Yeah.
And it's all on how much you can afford and how much fun you can have.
Well, it gets down. It seems like when you progress through the ranks in any type of calling it motorsports, the faster you go, the more it costs, and then when you do that, it becomes a job and not a passion. And I don't know if that's to support the habit or if that's just you feel the need for speed that bad.
Yeah, it's an addiction, the need for speed, and it goes back to when we were teenagers, right? Racing cars on the street. We got in trouble for that. We don't get in trouble for this.
Now, where are you from, sir?
Michigan.
Are you?
There's 3 boats here from Michigan this weekend, and
so do you ride on Lake Michigan just having fun, or
no?
What?
We're outside Detroit on a smaller inland lake, Lake St. Clair, and we go out there on Sunday and practice a little bit and fool around and have some fun.
So you come all the way in here from Michigan just to run this event?
Oh yes.
Hey, buddy, I'm telling you what, I knew we found the right place. Listen, we won't detain you because we know you're busy, but thank you so much for taking a couple of minutes and being on Event Radio. We really appreciate you taking the time and appreciate you backing the mayor's deal up where he said he was pretty good. We knew he would tell us the truth.
Yeah, it was surprising because usually someone volunteers their boat with 2 seats in it, and they have to have the crash helmet and the life jacket on for safety reasons. So I says, my boat, it's pretty docile, So I said, hey, I'll let the mayor run that thing, and showed how to set it up a little bit, and all we did was stab the throttle and go.
Yeah, he's a cool guy, and absolutely the coolest politician we've ever met. On Event Radio, and probably the only one that when his lips are moving, he's not lying.
That could be true. Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
There's not many of them.
Sir, thank you so much for being on Event Radio. We appreciate you taking the time to join us. Guys, we're going to get out of here. No telling what we'll show up with next, but you're on Event Radio. Do not go anywhere. Hang in there with us. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
All right, guys, we are back from our post over here on the Green River to a very, very special, the Kentucky Drag Boat Association. Am I correct there?
That's correct.
And tell everybody who you are.
My name's Roger Austin. I'm the president of the Kentucky Drag Boat Association and have been for about 30 years.
You the grand poobah.
They call me the dictator.
The dictator. Yeah. Hey, well, there's got to be one of them.
That's
know?
right.
Somebody's got to do it.
You know, not everybody plays by the rules.
That's right. Some people have to be reminded of them.
You think so?
Yeah,
I mean, you give them one of those books and they just sort of throw it away, don't pay any attention to it.
That's right.
Boy, I tell you what, this is going to be a fun event for us. Terry and I do every kind of motorsport just about there is, and we have never done the boat races, and we are so fired up, it's unbelievable.
Well, you guys been missing out. Where you been?
We've been a little lost. You know, we've
been covering everything with wheels, and this is the first for us.
We figured the only wheel we got here is a steering wheel, but that's
right.
okay.
It
works. You know, when you look at some of the power plants these things have in them, it sure is not going to be a problem for us to be right in our element. We know a little bit about that. So you've been doing it for 30 years?
Yeah, started racing with the Kentucky Drag Boat Association in '81. Probably became president in '86, and have been here ever since.
Well, we were fortunate enough. We had the mayor on another show with us. We did a toy thing back in the winter, and he came over to Owensboro. We were invited over to a thing over there, and of course the statute of limitations hadn't run out, and we went anyway. But he was on with us, and he was telling us about this, and he said, "Guys, you need to put this in your schedule." So we did that day, you know, to where we would make sure and be free where we could come and do this, because we do this stuff everywhere. But it looks like to me, I feel slighted that we have not been here before.
Well, we've been here in Livermore for 20 years, and we picked this venue up about 20 years ago. This is the 20th annual, and it's been the Joe Barnes Memorial Race. We had the only fatality we ever had boat racing right here on this track. And
buddy, I tell you what,
that's a bad deal. But
yeah, well, it's of course, unfortunately, motorsport sort of grabs those every once in a while in all forms, not just the boats, everything. And I was amazed when he told us it was done on the Green River, because my wife's from Morgantown, and the only thing I've ever seen done on the Green River is a Catfish Festival fishing tournament. You know, and I said, man, ain't that a little narrow? But you get here, and you guys got plenty of room.
Yeah, we've got plenty of room, and what makes it such a great venue is it is narrow. If you get any body of water at all, the water gets too rough to race these boats on. A lot of them are less than 1/8 of an inch thick and weigh 300 pounds, and they just won't
300 pounds?
Yeah, the hulls.
How in the world can it support all the motor?
Well, I don't know. They got some pretty beefy stringers that the motors are strapped to, but the rest of the boat, it's not much to it.
So the Green River here is actually better than, say, the Mississippi River.
Oh, yeah, the current's pretty good here.
Great.
You know, we tried to race at actually the American Drag Boat Association came into Owensboro about 30 years ago, I guess, back in the mid-'80s, and tried to put a race on over there. And that didn't work out at all. I mean, there's just too much water, too much wind. You know, with conditions, we sat there for 2 days and never put a boat in the water.
Well, when Terry and I first got involved in this, first got involved in our end of racing when we started. We raced go-karts, and we raced go-karts with some guys in Owensboro called Terry and Billy Sterrett. You know who they are, I'm sure. And we became great buddies. And Mr. Sterrett, when he ran the Miss Chrysler crew, he hauled my little fat butt all over this end of the country. I went to Miami with him to the Orange Bowl Regatta and got exposed to, I call that how the real rich people live.
That's right.
Was that a fair statement?
Yeah, that was a fair statement.
There wasn't a double wide in the bunch.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't think, no, they didn't know what a double wide was unless it was a stacker trailer stacked up on top. But I was kidding somebody the other day, and it may have been Bob Davis, one of your guys' buddies over here. I rode, it seemed like 1,000,000 miles looking at that boat laying sideways on that trailer, you know, because that's the way they haul them, because they're so doggone big. This has got to be a rush. I'm just fired up, because you're looking at like a big, 426 Chrysler, big block Chevrolet with a blower on it and that kind of stuff. That what he ran, the Unlimiteds, he ran an Unlimited blown Chrysler back those years. And how fast that thing was, I can only imagine how quick these dudes are going to be.
Yeah, we've got one guy here in an outboard that's got a brand-new carbon fiber boat. It's the lightest boat here probably. It weighs around 300 pounds, 275, something in that range. Now, your pro mod boats are a little heavier. They'll probably go 500 to 600. Then you'd wad a big aluminum Chrysler Hemi down in them, you know, and they pick up a few more, another 700-800 pounds.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
You know, 1,500 pounds will catch any of them. And 1,500 pounds, 1,500 horsepower, you know, it's 1-to-1. It don't get much better than that.
No, I'd say that's a pretty good little rush when you hit the throttle. I looked at, of course, the mayor told us he took a ride in one. You know.
Yeah, he actually sneaked in there and drove one yesterday.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, we got something to ask him about.
He's definitely got my vote. I'd almost move here just to vote for him.
Yeah, you know.
Hey, I'm going to tell you about Sonny. That's the number one current mayor in America.
Hey,
Sonny
listen,
Rimmer.
you don't have to tell us. He made that kind of impression on us when we met him in Owensboro almost a year ago. And I thought, man, I don't know how you could possibly lose an election. As good a guy and as nice a guy as you are, you know. And then he does so much to promote this for you guys. I think that's wonderful.
I mean, we've raced in different cities around, you know, and we've never run into anybody like Sonny. I mean, he is the man.
He's probably the only honest politician I've ever met. You know?
That's correct.
You know.
Well, he did sneak in behind the driver's seat on me yesterday when I wasn't watching.
Oh, well, we can't wait to
do
talk
have
to him
one
about
flaw
that.
for him, you know.
How are they classed? Let me ask you that, as far as the classes of them.
Well, we've got a couple classes of PWCs, under 16 and over 16 years of age. Then that's personal watercraft.
Okay.
Then our slowest class starts out at 12 seconds. Now that class, like the PWC class, is a handicap class.
Okay.
If you've got a 15-second boat and a 12-second boat, the 15
sort of like a bracket race in a drag race.
Second stop.
You know, like a bracket drag race. Okay.
And then it changes a little bit after that. It's not as much. It's heads-up racing after that. When you get to the 11, the 10s, the 9s, the 8s, the 7s, and the 6s, all of those are heads-up racing. But if you've got an 8-second boat, it better run an 8.0.
Whoa.
Or you won't be winning in the winter circle.
So you got to be dead on too.
You got to be dead on, and if you're not cutting those and running those,
well, you know, and I think the guys that drive these have got to be on their game more than those guys that win the big dollar bracket races, because there's no way to slow these dudes down.
No,
there's no brakes to put on.
That's right. They got to tune them. You know, they got to tune them to run the number.
Man, they got to be on their game. They got to be sharp when they do this. If a guy really wanted to find out more about doing this, say we spark some interest, and we sometimes do that, how would they go about doing that?
Well, they can get a hold of me. We have 3 races a year down at Kentucky Lake. That's where I got started. I heard about her. I had a pretty hot little river boat, and we decided, well, we'll go down there and race some guys. So we went down there, and they showed us what hot little river boats was and sent us back to the house. You know?
Oh, did they really?
Yeah, pretty much.
They call getting a spanking.
Yeah, pretty much. But at that point, we decided, well, we're going to show them what a hot boat was, you know, and we just kept working at it till, you know, we moved up to the professional ranks at that time, started racing American Drag Boat Association, which is more like pro stock.
Yeah, sure.
And then, you know, but they can come down there and start just like we did. It don't matter how slow your boat is, we're going to have a class for you.
Well, buddy, I'm telling you what, there's probably, and you're going to have a field full of people here. I mean, we just got in early, but there's not going to be 2 people in the crowd any more excited than T and I don't think.
I hear you.
Because we already, a drive from the trailer to here, we're already fired up. I mean, with what we've seen, you know, and we want to take this little show, and fortunately we can expose you to a lot of folks.
That's great.
This little show goes everywhere in the world. So,
this little venue here is probably as nice a boat race as you'll go to, as far as being able to see every bit of the track. You can sit right along the edge of the water.
What would you recommend for the spectators when they come? What would be the best place to sit?
I like to get down here towards the finish line. You know, I like to see them coming by fast.
That's when they're acting. There you go.
A lot of guys just like to see them take off, because some of those, you know, some of the jet boats and the hydros come off the line like, you know, like they've been shot out of a gun, you know, and it's pretty exciting down there.
Well, we actually saw a couple of pictures that a couple of them were just all the way in the air. I mean, like it had jumped completely out of the water.
Some of the hydros rear up hard, and they push yourself plumb off the water a lot of times before they get to going.
Well, we may be in trouble, because I see who Susie has commandeered here.
We've got problems.
Yeah, we have problems, because Susie has found the mayor for us, but we appreciate you sort of filling us in and being on here and letting us have a free rein to come and talk to the guys and expose you a little bit more, because, guys, it's a shame for you not to be here where T and I are sitting. Man, this is going to be one great event, and how you could spend a Sunday with any better entertainment, I don't know how it would be.
Sitting on a river in the shade, watching the boats go by.
That ought to be a song like that.
That's right.
We might take you to Nashville. you may have a career in country music. You never know. Sitting on the river, watching the boats go by. Yeah, hey, that's sort of got a ring to it.
We might get a writer started on that.
Yeah, we were talking about the John Prine song of Muhlenberg County when we came up in the Green River, Paradise, and all that stuff. Yeah. But we got that covered.
There you go.
Hey, man, the president of the boat deal is now a country music. Will you get us a bus?
There you go. We got a tour trailer right now that needs a wash job, and we're thinking about converting that into something a little nicer.
Well, hey, I don't know how you could get much nicer,
air.
buddy. You need air?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll bring you a fan. That's all.
That's all we've got.
Yeah. We've been kidding our marketing guys, and we were ribbing him. We did the drag races Friday at Beach Bend, and he was out there, and he's driving around in his air conditioned car. We're out there sweating our guts out, and we said, Robert, think tour bus, boy. Tour bus. He said, y'all don't deserve a school bus. And I said, okay, all right. Listen, my friend, thank you so much for being on Event Radio. It is our pleasure to have you start us off and sort of educate us just a little on what's going to go on. And, man, we're fired up. And like I say, thank you for inviting us over.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right, guys, we're going to say a little something to our sponsor. Don't run off. You're on Event Radio. We will be right back. All right, guys, we are back. And leave it up to T and I to go to any venue anywhere in the United States and wind up finding a pretty girl. Well, I mean, we're just talented that way, gal.
Well, Ray Charles can see this girl.
I know. What is your name, ma'am?
Laura Beth Austin.
And we had your dad on here. Your dad is he the president? Is that what it is?
Yes, sir.
What's it like to be the president's daughter?
Well, my whole life I have been, so I wouldn't know what it's like otherwise.
There you go.
But it's a lot of probably extra work.
Yeah,
when you're Roger's daughter.
Well, we understand. You're probably the glue that keeps this whole deal together as far as doing the unsung hero stuff. Is that right?
I don't know. I would say he is the glue, and I'm just his little errand girl.
Well, hey, you got to make a good impression with something. You work for us, girl. So you've been around boat racing forever, huh?
Yes, my whole life.
You like it?
I love it. Dad quit when a few years after I was born because he didn't want to get hurt. I have an older sister, and then he had already started running the KDBA before I was even born, and I guess he was racing and running. And then when he stopped racing, he started announcing.
Okay,
as
all
well.
Right. Well, he did a good job with us on the radio, so he definitely knows his stuff about what's going on. What's the most exciting part about this to you? Is there something that stands out that's a little different maybe than something else?
I look forward to this. I'm a big people person, so I feel like I have a second family in the KDBA. And even though it's people I see just like 3, 4, or 5 times a year, I feel like they know everything about me, and they are a family to me. I really like when the fast boats run. That's always exciting.
Well, that's sort of at every venue, gal. I mean,
yeah, that's everybody's.
That's
thing
everybody's fun stuff to see the really what we call the real hot rods. I don't blame you. We're looking forward to that too. We're excited.
So am I.
All right. Well, listen, lady, we're not gonna keep you. You can't keep the first lady around long when she's got so much to do, and they're depending on her to do all the good stuff at this event. But thank you so much for being on Event Radio.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Oh, it's been our pleasure, gal. We're going to stab and steer, and we're going to go find out this gentleman that took the mayor for a ride. We're going to go talk to him and find out if he's going to vote for the mayor or he's not going to vote for the mayor after that ride. So we'll be right back, guys. All right, guys, I scared T to death coming down here. We're almost down on the river. We're on the sidewalk, though, in the golf cart. And we come up to where a whole bunch of the fans have got, evidently you found the right spot to watch. And what is your name, sir?
My name's Donnie Piper.
Donnie, where you from, my friend?
I'm from Clayton, Kentucky.
Where in the world's that?
That'd be about 3 miles south of Central City.
That's all right. We know where that is. We know where Central City and Greenville and all those places and Madisonville. We know. Hey, we're cool. We know about that.
Well, man, there's where from. You're going to come to watch these races, aren't you?
Pardon?
I said it doesn't make any difference where you're from. You're going to come watch these races. You've been here a while, too, haven't you?
Oh, that's right. I've come every year they have them here, and we used to go to Land Between the Lakes when they have them down there.
Okay. So you're a big boat fan, right?
Oh, yes. I've been a boat fan. I guess since 1984.
Really? Are the boat races, are they more fun than watching the car races, the drag races and stuff?
I think they are because it's more laid back and everything. It's more laid back and things like that. You can get a lot of people in the area that can come and sit here and enjoy the river bank and enjoy the river and enjoy people and all that.
Well, I tell you what, it's pretty doggone cool. We this is Terry and I's first trip to the boat races. We normally do a lot of other motorsport stuff. We do cars and bikes and I don't know, all kinds of stuff with wheels. And when we were invited to come over here, I thought, boy, that's going to be neat. We're ready. This is, as far as the fans, having trouble getting the women to come here and watch?
Oh, no, the women love to come here and everything, show off, and all that, and the men love to look at them. Yeah,
well, I was going to say something about that. This is the only venue I've been to where a lot of short shorts and bikinis and that kind of stuff, that sort of enhances. It took Terry and I a while to figure out there were some boats here,
Oh, yeah. I mean, sometimes they have about 50 boats. I think today they might have about 30 or 40, somewhere in that neighborhood.
You like have you got a favorite class, buddy, that you like better than any others?
I like the 6-second class and the 7-second. Some of the 9-seconds are pretty nice, too. We got a friend, Ronnie Smith from Central City, and his family, they come and race. Ronnie's been racing since about 1984, and we done a little outlaw racing up on Green River out from Central City there.
Surely.
Oh, yeah, we do a little outlaw racing every now and then. Just have fun.
Well, hey, buddy, there's nothing wrong with having fun. We're all about having fun. We like that.
Well, Donnie, it looks like you got a good place to sit here.
Yeah, man.
From experience being here, I mean, you can see it all from right here.
Yeah, I get this spot every year. I try to get here a little early and get this favorite spot because it'll be shaded there after a while. And a lot of other people, they come down here and they say, well, we'll go down there where Donnie's at because he knows where the shade's going to be.
Yeah, there you go. You got your favorite crew that you hang out with at this event every year and the whole 9 yards. I tell you what, I think it's sort of cool, and we appreciate you. We said we wouldn't keep you long, and we won't. But I appreciate you taking a couple of minutes to be on Event Radio. Now, you ask how many people this went to, right? Did you ask how many people hear this? Well,
yes.
We don't want to make you upset, but it goes.
What channel is this?
This is on the internet worldwide. It goes everywhere. I mean, there are people probably listening to you in England, in France, in California, in New York, in Chicago, in Miami. So everywhere. So we didn't want to tell you that to start with.
If it's going everywhere, then I had a friend that was in Chicago back in 1967 to 70. And if that person's listening, my name.
Well, who is he?
My name's Donnie Piper, and if that person's listening, they know who I am, and I want to say hi.
Oh, okay, all right. You know who he is, so.
No, her.
Huh? Her. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, there you go. He wants to say hi to you. So we've had Mr. Donnie Piper on Event Radio, and he's here having a blast at the boat races.
A family member.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. But we appreciate you taking a couple of minutes and being on Event Radio. Thank you so much, and letting us invade your little commune, I think you would say, for everybody having fun.
You're very welcome, and I thank y'all for having me.
Hey, buddy, it was our pleasure. Guys, we're going to stab and steer. We're going to try to keep out of the water here, keep T happy, but we're on Event Radio. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, guys, we are back with a gentleman that we came up here and ran our mouth, and then we got up out of his chair and we saw how big he was, and we were looking for reverse on this golf cart. But according to the guy we just talked to, he said you're a pretty nice guy. What's your name, sir?
Jimmy Gold.
Jimmy, he says you're from Central City, Kentucky.
Yes.
And you have one of our sponsors' decals on your trailer.
Which one would that be?
The Quick Fuel.
All right, that's us.
There you go. I mean, Quick Fuel has been one of our sponsors for about a year and a half now. And Marvin and all the guys at Quick Fuel, there are no better people than them. This boat is unbelievable. It's what they call a pickle fork. Is that right? No.
Just a 501 courtesy out pickle fork.
Okay. I thought that's the way with the two, like, sponsons. We're sort of uneducated. We're car guys and motorcycle guys. We don't know a lot about boats, but we're learning. See, right. I mean, we're trying to learn here.
That's me.
And you're supposed to teach us.
You're in trouble. You're in trouble.
No offense, buddy, but you're a pretty good-sized young man. Do you ride that thing or do you carry it?
push it mostly.
Okay. Well, you could pick that dude up and put it under your arm. Now, I mean, you're a pretty good sized fella.
No, I'm just a small guy. There's bigger than me.
Not here.
Well, we might have one or two in a little while come by. You might change
All right.
your mind.
What do you do, sir, for a living? What do you do?
I work at TVA.
There you go. That's cool. Gold stuff, right?
Yep.
Hey.
That's what makes your lights on.
Hey, buddy, nothing better
If
than
you don't like it, shut them off.
There you go.
Live in the dark a while.
Hey,
Yeah,
nothing
you like that. Yeah.
Hey, I'm telling you, there is nothing more important, guys, than the guys that work with the coal, that work in the mines and that kind of stuff. They have more respect out of us than anybody in this world, and I'll tell you that we have been fortunate to interview several of them, and man, they're all great people, all nice people, and you need to thank them all, just like he said, for keeping your lights on, because that's what keeps your lights on with the guys at TVA.
That's right. We burn about 22,000 ton of coal a day, so we need them to keep digging. We got to have power.
There you
gotta
go,
have
buddy.
Power, you got to have coal.
This is off the subject from the boat, but what about that big old crane thing that digs up half a mountain at one time? What are they?
You talking about the old Peabody shovels?
Yeah,
that's it.
I haven't a clue. Hadn't seen one of them in years.
Boy, I tell you what,
They went after the other dinosaurs, baby.
Well,
Yeah.
I lead a sheltered life. All right,
Yeah.
I don't
the
know
old
about
strip mine days.
Oh, is
They're
that what it
long.
was?
Yeah,
So
they're
it-
pretty much
so it's
long
not done
gone.
like that
The
now,
big
huh?
shovels. They still got some small, but not big ones like they used to have.
Yeah, I
either.
know that one. They had to ship that dude in here and put it together on site or something, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, they did.
So when did you get involved in drag boat racing?
Probably about 7-8 years ago, helping Ronnie out. Knowed him pretty much all my life. So coming to one boat race, he needed some help, and I helped him and been with him ever since. So we travel all over the countryside, racing boats, having fun.
Hey, buddy, there's nothing wrong with that. That's a great way to make a living.
How's the Green River here compared to a lot of the other rivers you race on? I started to say drags, but the other rivers, how does the Green River compare to them?
Well, it's like from Kentucky Lake, the water's not as swift. We race in a bay down there.
Right.
This is the Green. It's a quick. It's all downstream. It's some people call the water slow. Some people call it fast. But of course, we go to Wheatland, Missouri. Out there, it's a drag boat track strictly for boat racing. So it just depends. Different days, the water, the wind.
Right.
So you've been doing this a while, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
let me ask you this: Have you ever been rained out?
Yeah, there you go. It don't get rained out, does it?
No, I don't think we've ever been sent home yet, but we've sat a long time.
Oh,
waiting
yeah.
to race.
I mean, it's
several
not
places.
like us going to the drag races somewhere where the track's wet. It's already wet here,
Yeah.
so everything's cool there.
Yeah, we've been close a couple of times, but we've been able to pull it off.
Now, this is like a V-drive prop boat, is that right?
Yes, it is.
So those things, man, you get all the horsepower to the water.
Yes.
It's not like losing it in a jet drive at some of the jet
No.
boats and that
No.
kind of stuff.
No,
That
this-
has got to be an immediate, unbelievable rush.
Yep. You need to go down and watch this one come off the line.
We're
today.
going to, buddy. We're
straight
going.
up.
Hey, we're right here, and we're here for the duration.
right.
We've been looking forward to come to this event for months, and we got to come. And man, thank you so much for we were playing with you when we got up here, but
ain't no big deal,
but
man.
thank you for. Actually, we came because you're around all the pretty girls. How'd you do that?
I just hang out
Animal
up here.
magnetism.
No, they just all hang out up. It's all family right here.
There you go.
This whole group right here is racing family. Everybody's related to somebody or with somebody here, so
Hey,
we
buddy,
all get together.
It don't get no better.
Nah,
than
we
that.
got a big crew. That most of them hadn't even got here yet. So
Hey, well, that's cool. I tell you what. Listen, my friend, thank you so much
All right, buddy.
for being on Event Radio. We really appreciate you
All
taking
right,
the time,
I appreciate it.
letting us poke a little fun at you
Oh,
and
yeah.
have some fun.
That's all right.
But,
I like it.
we're going to give you a packet when you get done. It'll tell you a little about us and some decals. That the only people that have the decals are people that's been on this show. So,
All right.
we get to introduce you to a lot of folks. You don't know us and you don't know where this goes, but trust me, there's a whole lot more people that know you now than knew you about 10 minutes ago.
All right. Sounds good.
All righty. We're on Event Radio, guys. We will be right back. All right, guys, we are back, and we're here with the I don't know if we're going to call him the captain, the jockey, the crazy man. We've got to figure out a title. The owner of the Fish Killer, which is the Quick Fuel boat that we were just talking to the guys from Quick Fuel on. My friend, you have got a sharp outfit.
Thank you.
Well, and you must be a pretty bad boy because they just came and got you to do a match race with another guy. What's the deal there?
Well, we're short on boats in that class, and it's the 2 fastest classes they've got here, so we're trying to put on a show for the crowd, and they're going to give us a couple hundred to the winner there on the grudge race, and then in the end we'll go back in the finals.
So now, you gonna is Mom here going to get the couple of hundred, or who's going to get that? Is she going to take the cash or what?
I might give her $15 out of it.
Yeah, I bet you do. you better hope she doesn't hear this. Is all I can tell you. You're about as brave as the rest of us. You say a lot until she can hear it, right?
She can get all of it.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. You been boat racing a while?
I started back when I was young and pretty.
Well, now see that can't. You mean you don't? You're not a Chippendale model anymore? Is that what you're saying? Or
that's correct.
Okay, all right. So you've been doing it a couple of days, in other words.
Well, I started racing when I was 18 years old on the water, but we never started doing it on a circuit like this till 1984. We always outlaw raced.
Let me ask you, what got you to race on the water and not in a hot rod somewhere?
Oh, I race with hot rods too.
Oh, okay.
A racer's a racer, Spence.
So you just wanted to be a multi-talent guy to be able to braze all the elements and just go after it, right?
Well, I get more of a rush out of the boat.
Do you really? Is it
yes,
a quicker? The guy talking to us, you're not really talking to radio people. You're talking to two old racers here that we did that for a long time, so we know the rush.
Yes, sir.
Is it that much more in the boat than in a car?
Well, to me it is.
Okay. Well, I mean, you're the one that's got to impress, you know.
That's right.
Terry's already said that he wouldn't get out of the electric carriage to get in one of them things, you know. But you got how fast is this boat, sir?
I had around 150.
Whew.
Couldn't imagine that.
No. Have you ever fell out of it?
Not out of that one. I hadn't. I've been wet a couple of times.
Well, we don't want you to fall out.
I was
of that
noticing earlier, there's no row bars and there's also no seat belts, if I'm correct.
I wouldn't think you'd want to be belted in one of them.
Well, I don't know. I mean, what about it?
Well, I've got a parachute on my jacket. Hopefully, if I get thrown out, that chute will get me away from the boat.
Okay,
I don't want to be attached to it.
This is a whole new meaning, guys, to parasailing. They do it without a towboat. That's what you just go out. Choo, here we go.
If you get thrown out, you will.
Yeah, there you go. Now, you got to be a pretty good racer to have one of the tech guys from Quick Fuel here sort of helping you a little bit.
Well, I guess I'm a likable old boy. I don't know.
Well, that must be what it is. Or you're surrounding yourself with all these pretty girls. Now, maybe that's what it is.
Well, they knew me back when I was young and pretty. So.
Okay, all right. Well, you just sort of what'd you do? Put them in a cage and keep them there for a few years? Is that it, or
I guess I charmed them or something.
That's what it must be. Your charming personality, don't you think?
Maybe.
All right, no doubt about it, my friend. It has been our pleasure to have you on Event Radio. Your rig is gorgeous. All kidding aside, the Fish Killer is an absolutely gorgeous boat. It looks like it's running about 200 sitting there on the trailer to us. And man, we're envious in one respect, and in the other respect, you're crazy.
Well, thank you for interviewing me.
Yeah, well, listen. No big deal. We appreciate you being on Event Radio. Guys, we're going to get out of here. They're going to fire these things up in a minute, and, man, we don't want to miss a thing. We will be right back, guys. All right, guys, leave it up to T and I. We can't go anywhere without running into our favorite people in the world. The guys from Quick Fuel are here at the boat races, and that just proves you guys are on your game. You are everything motorsports. Quick Fuel is there. Tell everybody who you are.
I'm Zach. I'm one of the tech guys for Quick Fuel, sales and tech. But, yeah, we try to keep our hands, kind of on the pulse of things because everything's changing in motorsports all the time, and if you're not here to do it, you're going to get left behind.
One of the things we've had a relationship with Quick Fuel now for over a year on this radio, and one of the things we find so cool about you guys is that you guys are racing all the time. Your customer, man, you're right there with them. They got a problem, you fix it. Simple, plain and done. You don't say, "Well, send it to me and I'll look at it Monday." You fix it on the spot, make them. That's why you guys. Hey, that's why you're the best in the world, man.
Well, we try awful hard anyway. I mean, it's, so far so good. We've got a lot of guys out here at the KDBA and the Lucas Oil Boat Racing Series that run our stuff, and we try to be here for them. Just in case there's a problem. Hopefully there's not. But I mean,
doggone it, you like Angela. You hiding from us. See, you can't hide from the old fat guy now. You ought to know that by now.
I just work a little better with a screwdriver instead of a microphone's on.
Ah, you're okay. You'll be all right. The boat races, we're excited. What should we watch more than anything else? You know more about this than we do.
Well, I mean, there's a bunch of great guys out here. The slower classes, you will see some really good driving. The faster boats, they're just exciting to watch. And one thing to look for this weekend is Terry's here trying to get his license in the Pro Mod.
Okay.
So that'll definitely be something to see. So he can go race next weekend at the national event. So that ought to be a nice little ride. If he gets down through there, it ought to be 7 flat, 170-mile-an-hour ride.
And these things, some of these boats weigh 300 pounds. Is that right? I mean, more than that with the motor, but I mean, the hulls are like carbon fiber and stuff like that. Is that right?
Yeah. I mean, I think, well, the one I'm here with, the Fish Killer, it's a Curtis Craft 501, and it weighs less than 500 pretty easily.
God, our golf cart weighs more than that.
Yeah, and that's a 1,000-horsepower big block sitting in it.
Yeah, of course.
So
a quick fuel equipped big block. There you go.
It's got a 1450 on it.
I was kidding Marvin, and I said, I know you guys do a lot of stuff for a lot of different venues. I said, but when you going to attack? Of course, he told me about the new quick fuel EFI deal that you're working on and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, when are you going to attack electric vehicle? And he just died laughing. He said, I already got that figured out. I said, you do? He said, yeah. I said, well, what are you going to call it? He said, quick fuse.
Well, there you have it.
There you go.
Always thinking.
Hey,
right?
You boys are on the game, and we won't keep it because you were busy, and honest to goodness, we did disturb you, and we appreciate you taking a minute to be with us on Event Radio. It's always fun to have you guys because you make us look good because you're so doggone good at what you do.
Well, we try awful hard, and we appreciate everything y'all do.
Well, I told Angela yesterday, and I'm going to tell you in the previous show, if we can make this radio show half as good as what you guys do and make every day of the world, we're a hit. I mean, there's no doubt about it. We're successful to ourselves if our stuff can be half as good as your stuff, and that's cool. That's
well, it's
really
a lot
cool.
easier when you enjoy what you do.
Hey, buddy, I'm telling you what. Of course, I guess it's a lot easier when you're as good as you at what you do. You go back, get your screwdriver. We'll leave you alone. We'll take the headset and the microphone away, and you go back to your surgeon material, I guess you will say, your screwdriver and fixing stuff.
All right. Well, it sounds like a winner. I appreciate y'all stopping by.
Hey, buddy, thank you for being on Event Radio. Guys, we're going to stab and steer.
Right.
We're going to ride, have some fun. We're at the boat races, and we're just having too much fun. We'll be right back. All right, guys, we are back, and we have a gentleman that is Mr. Jet Boat, from what we understand, the guy that shows them all how to do it. What is your name, sir?
It's Bob Hardison. I live in Island, Kentucky.
Where is that?
That's about 4 miles south of here.
So you
homeboy.
You're close to home, right?
Oh yeah, I grew up here.
You've been boat racing for how long, sir?
Since 1978 or 9.
Huh. Boy, I tell you what, you must like it, huh?
Yeah. Well, that's all I know is boat racing.
Yeah, oh, okay. All right. Well,
Yeah.
hey, that's cool.
That's
you don't
all
need,
we know.
From what we've seen here, you don't need to know anything
Oh,
else.
yeah, really.
The mayor told us some of these boats weigh as little as 300 pounds.
Oh,
Is that
yeah.
right?
Yeah, we got some 300-pound boats, and there's a lot of these guys have been racing with us for, close to 30 years. A lot of them have,
Well, this is this is cooler than pockets on a shirt. Now I'm telling you, we just really, really are having a big time. We're gonna anything that the spectators that comes in here just a total idiot needs to watch for or look for.
Well, we've had a lot of rain and some of the trash and stuff. Oh, the spectators or the racers?
Well, both.
Yeah. Well, the ground, you see the pit area is a little bit soft, and you got a lot of some water. But everything, it's second year that we've had a little rain, so it's a little bit aggravating.
So they, it'll dry up. I mean, we're gonna have some nice heat, and it's gonna dry it.
Yeah, it'll be dry. Yeah, and the track's really good today. Yesterday we had a little trouble with a little bit of trash coming out of the Rough River, but today it seemed like it's all passed by, and the track really looks good today.
Now the jet boats, I know I've had a couple of those. Not anything like what you guys use, but it seems to me like that all the horsepower in the world, if you can't get the impeller unit to work right, it's sort of like peeing in the wind, you know.
Yeah. It's the motor in the boat and the impeller in the boat. It really makes the difference. It's the horsepower. The bigger horsepower you need a bigger impeller, and the smaller horsepower you need a smaller impeller. So it'll really choke the motor down if you got a too small a motor and a too big impeller.
So it's a fine science to figure that out.
It's a balance game.
You got to be a little bit of a mad scientist to make that work. Is that it?
Yeah, a little bit of mad scientist.
Well, evidently you must be pretty good at it because the mayor said you're a bad boy. You're the one that does that well. So
that's getting the name Jet Boat Bob. It just didn't come to me. It's about 30 years.
That's
one
of them you earned. There you go. Hey, we know how to pick the winners on Event Radio, buddy.
Bob,
trust me.
Explain the start of these rascals when you take off like that. It's a little different than coming off a Christmas tree.
It's what it is. It's got a caution yellow light, and it flashes like 20 times.
Okay.
And it's 20 seconds to get your motor started. Then when it starts counting down, it goes from 20 to 0, and that's a half a second increment.
Okay.
And then the object is to break the beam at 125 feet at 0.
So you start them a little bit like an unlimited hydroplane does, right?
Yeah,
you don't start from a dead in the water.
Mm-hmm.
You actually it's what we would call a rolling start.
But the thing about it is you want to get your boat as fast as you can in that 125 feet. So you're putting it to the wood right off the bat.
So you got to be able to judge, and if you go too soon, you're a foul and you're out, right?
And if you're too late, you're going to be out too. So,
boy, I tell you what, there's several ways to lose.
These guys are cutting 0 lights.
Wow, no kidding.
Yes, and I know boys here at the lake, they cut 0 lights all weekend.
Man, is this cool?
And if they run an 8.0, they'll run an 8.0. We've had 5 boats within 8.01s.
Wow.
Good lights, Bob. That could maybe be because the water is better some places?
Well,
not as rough, or does that have much to do with it?
Oh, we can't do no rough water. It's all got to be smooth. That's why Green River is always a good place to run because the water's always controlled really nice.
Yeah, right. That's what the mayor said.
Well,
this
got
is an
tree
unusual.
Lines, got a lot of shade, and that shade blocks all the wind, so it really makes it a lot nicer for the boats to run.
Well, buddy, nobody in this place is more excited than Terry and I to watch this whole venue all day. We're fired up about it. We've been looking forward to this for probably 4 or 5 months, and we do a lot of stuff. So
this is our 20th year.
Yeah, that's what he told us.
I can't believe it. We've been doing it for 20 years down here at Livermore.
Well,
guys,
I can't believe it's been 20 years and we haven't been here.
Yeah, that's where we were really, for this
hometown for us too. Actually,
yeah. I mean, we're not that far away, and for something this cool going on. T, we've led a sheltered life.
I feel ashamed. I feel ashamed almost.
That's right.
Yeah. But a lot of these guys, it's kind of, a lot of these people, we've known them forever. We've known them 30 years. And it's, and we all enjoy it. And it's just a kind of a good event. It's a golf game. It's our golf game.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, buddy. Doggone, if you hit the ball any harder, I don't believe I could handle it. Guys, it's been our pleasure to have the one and only Jet Boat Bob. I like it when you got nicknames. I think that's cool.
Well, I've had it ever since I was a kid.
Oh, I like it.
He said golf. Golf just takes one ball to get in these boats.
Yeah, I'm
more than one ball. I tell you.
I don't need no golf course here, boys. What Terry said, I wouldn't get one of the. I wouldn't get out of the electric chair to get one of them things.
There you go. That's our head diver right there. That's our head diver. He lives in Indianapolis.
Really?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty cool that you have the guys that are trained. Yeah, yeah. We would like to talk to him if that's okay.
That's fine. Pat Hill's his name. He's,
okay.
He's a heck of a nice guy and just good, reliable, and just if I'm going down in a boat, I want him after me.
All right. There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, the one and only, guys, Mr. Jet Boat Bob has joined us on Event Radio. It's been our pleasure, sir, to have you and get to introduce you to quite a few folks that you now know who you are.
There you go.
Didn't before.
Good.
But we appreciate you being on Event Radio. We're going to get out of here, and we're going to learn just what the diver does here in just a minute.
There you go.
Hang in there, guys. We're going to have a little special word from one of our sponsors, and we will be right back. All right, guys, we are back, and trust me, we have come up with the most unusual boat and tow vehicle in this place. It is absolutely Terry and I put it just real simple. It's cooler than pockets on a shirt. I mean, it is really, really neat. It's Little John's Motorsports. What's your name, sir?
My name's John Bickneys.
I bet you're Little John.
Yes, sir, I am.
Yeah, there you go. How in the world did you dream up the tow vehicle?
Well, we travel the nation pretty well, or have for many years. And 8 years ago, I've seen a couple of these vehicles before, but they're just a box over a motor.
Uh-huh.
Well, this was too nice a car to cut up. So we travel light with what we have here. We take the seats off. The boat goes clear to the dash. Everything fits in our trailer.
No kidding.
We have no tow vehicles. It's the motorhome and the trailer. Our golf carts go on a hoist, go on top. Everything you see here is self-contained.
Buddy, I tell you what, that is so cool, and it's really neat when you see something that is not only cool, but it's got a lot of thought to make it cool, and that's what you got. You can actually turn the air on and the stereo and while you're taking a boat down there, huh?
Well, absolutely, we have a lot of fun with what we do. It's a family operation. We got 3 generations now between myself and my grandson is a big part of this. Everybody gets a piece of it.
Well, it looks like they're getting ready to take it away from us. You know, but we're going to take some pictures of it, and we're going to flip it behind our show. Okay, where are you from?
St. Louis, Missouri, St. Charles.
Okay, well, it's a good time to be gone from there right now, I think, isn't it?
Pretty well, but it's quieting down a little bit.
Well, but still, if you get to come to the boat races, man, that's cool. You know, no matter what's going on.
Next weekend we'll be in Wheatland, Missouri for the Lucas Nationals.
Uh-huh.
Following weekend we'll be in New Athens, Illinois for that. So we'll be on the road for 3 weeks.
Are you sort of in the business? Do you make stuff and sell to them, or are you just out having fun, or what?
Actually, I'm in the stainless steel fabrication business for boat repair and boat repair.
Oh, okay. Oh. Nothing like looking good in front of the customers, buddy.
Well, we're pretty proud of what we have, myself.
Hey, you should be, because it's absolutely cool, no doubt about it. John, my friend, thank you for being on Event Radio. We're going to cut you loose. We're going to give you a packet, and we got to get out of the road anyway because we're going to get run over. But let's get out of the road now before we're going to get run over, T-Bone.
There's part of my family there.
Yeah, well, maybe the girls are. Why? Hey, let me ask you something. We just interviewed. What is the deal with the boat racers being surrounded by such pretty women? What's the deal there?
Well, that's my wife, Terry. We've been together 18 years now. My dog, Charlie. As you can tell, we like the color purple. Everything we own is purple.
Nothing wrong with the color purple, buddy. Nothing wrong with that. Listen, we're going to cut you loose. We're actually going to get to go see some of this stuff and get excited. So we're going to give you a packet that tells you how to listen to the show, that tells you with some special decals that the only people that have those decals have been on this show and in some form of motorsports or another. And if you see them anywhere, you can go up and talk to them because they've sat in this seat. That's the only way you can get them.
We'd like that very much.
All righty.
And,
guys, Little John Fabrication, what a nice fella. This is absolutely too cool. Thank you for being on Event Radio. We're going to get out of here, stab and steer, and we will be right back. Well, T-Bone, what do you think, man? The boat races are killer. This is day number 1. There's another full day left, but this is absolutely cool as it can be. Man, are these guys crazy or what?
Well, I tell you what, baby, I've seen a lot of racing as you have, but, I mean, this is out of sight. I mean, traction is no problem, and there's no rubber smoke burn. You know, kind of miss that, but these guys are flying.
Oh, buddy, are they getting with... At one vantage point, they're running 200 miles an hour when they pass us. And, I mean, there's a rooster tail 18 feet in the air. These guys are stroking it now. That's all you can say. They are flat doing it, buddy, doing it.
Kind of. A lot of people would say they were kamikazes.
You know, when we first came, we decided this was just going to be a one-day show. Well, guess what? It is so cool that we couldn't stand it other than to go spend the night, do it again. This is absolutely awesome. We are at Livermore, Kentucky at the boat races. We're going to close today out, and we're going to go get a little nap time and come back early tomorrow where they're going to really be flying, and we'll have all the supercharged nitro or alcohol-burning 225 or 30-mile-an-hour boats. We're going to introduce you to some of them tomorrow. We're going to also introduce you to some of the personal watercraft. They actually have jet skis here that run well over 100 miles an hour. So we just really got started good. Don't you think so, T?
I tell you what, tomorrow is halfway as good as today. I'm tickled to death already.
Hey, we're just absolutely we're actually gonna spend the evening in Livermore and tell you how
Mayberry.
nice it is. Yeah, Mayberry with an attitude with high horsepower.
There
That's
you
where
go.
we are. We never close out, guys, without thanking our sponsors. Of course, Beachbend Raceway, Beachbend Park, and Splash Lagoon.
Quick Fuel, Final Finish.
Gearhead Gazette, the #1 car guy magazine on the internet. And last but not least, the good folks at Holly that have just about everything your hot rod or hot boat might ever need. Guys, you have been on Event Radio. We really appreciate you and joining us for day one of the I don't know what the River Classic they call this, but, man, this stuff is absolutely cool.
It should be called Wet and Wild.
Wet and Wild. It's absolutely awesome. We appreciate you joining us on Event Radio, and we will talk to you again.
You've been listening to Event Radio, covering local drag racing, stock car racing, motorcycles, go-karts. If it's got wheels and you can race it, you heard about it here. Event Radio is motorsports radio on steroids. Join us next time with your hosts, Spivey Williams and Terrible T Guy.